Greetings and welcome to Down Blonde Hall of Fame and More Hall of Fame Biography 294, Casey Stengal, plus our trivia. And we will do Casey Stengal's biography for the main content for today. Hopefully you all are having a great day. We do have 776 entries in the September-October Wheel of Names. So we are getting closer. Only 224 entries available for our end of month. So without further ado, we're going to get rocking and rolling here. We did have Cards in My Car with R. Posada chiming in first. Let me get Cards in My Car all logged in. Followed by Matty Ice. Matty Ice cards. Locking 99. Nine. Sean, the Jedi Master's in the house. Sean? Dragon Fan Tim's here. Yep. Right. Let's see, what do we got? 2:02. We got 3 more minutes. If anybody wants to pop their head in here, so far I've got Cards in My Car with our Posada, Matty Ice Cards, Loggin 99, Sean, the Jedi Master, and Dragon Fan Tim. So far. Hey, Don, Matty, Loggin, and Posada. Got your package, Sean. Thanks for the satchel. Cops. Oh, Cops is in the house. There's Cops. Thanks, Jonathan, for stopping by. Appreciate you. It's been a while. Right? Who else? Did I miss anybody else? Looking. Hello, Matt. Cops. All right. We got 2 more minutes, and then we'll get into our trivia. We'll see how much we can get into today. Get caught up to this month in October, so we'll do a few at least. We'll go through that. Okay. Right, we should have just over a minute to go on our 5 minutes when I went live at 2. Actually, Cards in My Car was here a little early. Break a little early. But here until 2:15. There we go. Last 15-minute break for the day. All right, so once again, Cards in My Car with our Posada, Matty Ice Cards, Lockin 99, Sean the Jedi Master, Dragon Fan Tim, and Cops. Let me get it in here real quick. And to end the early birds, oops, no. Oh, I'm typing on the wrong one, that's why. Wrong keyboard. Right. Yeah, we got 2:05. So last call, we are closed for the early birds. I got Cards in My Car, Matty, Lockin, Sean, Dragon Fan Tim, and Cops. So without further ado, Oh, that gets you your 2 entries to start the day with. 2 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus, 2 plus, and 2 plus. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. 12. That gives us 788. Okay. So we'll get over here. No, I'm going to leave it there for now. Okay. So let's get rocking and rolling with some trivia. We left off yesterday with the 8th of September. So we are now on to Monday, September 9th, 2024. The baseball birthdays for the 9th of September were Wade Hoyt, Frankie Frisch, Frank Chance, and Mike Hampton. Okay, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 possible answers. You need to get 5 correct for 5 entries into the drawing. Okay? So other than that, 5-2, keeping us updated with the playoffs. All right? So here we go with Immortal Records. And the question is, which 5 of the following players were selected to 18 or more straight All-Star games? Which 5 of the following 7 players were selected to 18 or more straight All-Star games? Okay? And all you have to do is give me the letter for the players, the 5 players. Give me the 5 letters, and you will get, whoever gets it done first will get 5 points. All right? So which of the 5 following players were selected to 18 or more straight All-Star games? Is it A, Rod Carew? Is it B, Carl Yastrzemski? Is it C, Stan Musial? Is it D, Cal Ripken Jr.? Is it E, Hank Aaron? Is it F, Willie Mays? Or is it G, Brooks Robinson? So which 5 of these players were selected to 18 or more straight All-Star games? Astros second home in the playoffs. A, C, D, E, and F. And who did that? Sean the Jedi Master got that one for 5 points. A, C, D, E, and F. And that is correct. A, Rod Carew, C, Stan Musial, D, Cal Ripken, E, Hank Aaron, and F, Willie Mays. Okay? You can see it upside down here, but I'll read the back for the answers. A, C, D, E, and F. Carew was selected 18 straight times from 1967 through 1984. Except for 1945, he missed due to military service. Musial was selected to 20 straight games from 1943 through 1963. Ripken was selected to 19 in a row from 1983 through 2001. Aaron was selected in 21 straight seasons from 1955 through 1975. And Mays was selected in 20 straight from 1954 to 1973. So A, C, D, where are we at? Yeah, A, C, D, E, and F. A, C, D, E, and F. So congratulations there, Sean. You got the first trivia for the day. Here we go with the next one is baseball history. Baseball history. All right. The baseball birthdays for Tuesday, September 24th were George Kelly, Randy Johnson, Roger Maris, and Ted Kluszewski. Klaszewski. Okay, there are 5 correct answers in this one. You get all 5 correct, you will get the 5 entries into the September-October giveaway. So, baseball history. Match the player with his role in the famous pine tar incident on July 24th, 1983. Okay, so your players are the following 5 that you have to get and match up with their pine tar incident on July 24th, 1983. Number 1 is George Brett. Number 2 is Oscar Gamble. Number 3 is Dan Quisenberry. Number 4 is Ron Guidry. And number 5 is Bud Black. What I need you to do is match the number with the letter that I'll give you for how they were involved. Okay? So, for the A, B, C, D, and E choices, A is finished in the outfield. B is finished on the mound. C is made the last out. D is had a home run taken away and then given back. And E is one of 2 starting pitchers. One of 2 starting pitchers. Okay? So I'll go through these one more time. You feel free, if you already know the answers, you can go ahead and start putting them in there. I see boom, Lockin 99 got that one. I don't even have to continue on. Yep, it goes in order of D, C, B, A, and then E. So Lockin 99 gets the 5 entries. Right? I'll go over. I didn't know anybody would get that one for sure. All right? So here we go. You can see the answers in the upside down order as I read the answers on the back. The answer is 1D. Brett's 2-run homer was upheld in the 5-4 Royals victory. 2C. The Yankees pinch hitter Gamble grounded out to second. 3 is B. Quisenberry recorded his 24th save of the season. 4A. Guidry, who won 21 games in 83 and led the league with 21 complete games, played center field for the Yankees when the game was completed on August 18th. And then 5E. Black threw 6 innings and left with the Royals trailing 4-3. I guess that's why Lockin knew that one. It was Royals related. All right, congratulations there, Lockin. Next up we have is Wednesday, September 11th, Patriot Day. The baseball birthdays for that day were Ellis Burks, Eddie Mixis, Jeff Newman, and Jacoby Ellsbury. And this one is just going to be a moments in baseball, so not a trivia for this one. The Athletics led the Dodgers 3-1 in the 1974 World Series. In Game 5 in Oakland, the score was 2-2 in the bottom of the 7th. Earlier, Dodgers left fielder Bill Buckner had told a reporter that only a few of the A's players could break into the Dodgers lineup. Now, during the 7th inning stretch, fans avenged the insult by pelting him with food and soda, bottles causing a 10-minute delay. Reliever Mike Marshall, who set the record for appearing in 106 games in 1974 and won the Cy Young Award, was entitled to 8 warm-up pitches, but took none on this cool evening. Joe Rudy hit his first pitch over the left field fence. The A's held the 3-2 lead and won their third straight World Series. There you go, moments in baseball from Wednesday, September 11th, 2024. Okay. Next up will be the 12th of September. All right. This one will have one correct answer. One correct answer, and it'll be worth 2 points. Okay. Which one? Which one? So Thursday, September 12th, 2024, the baseball birthdays were Mickey Lulich, Freddie Freeman, Spud Chandler, and Luis Castillo. I take that back. We'll give you 5 points. 5 points for the first person that gets the correct answer. So which one? Which team was the last to have 3 20-game winners in a season? Was it A, the Athletics, B, the Orioles, C, the Braves, or D, the Phillies? Okay. Dragon fan Tim got it with A. Process of elimination on that one, huh? But hey, that's what it takes sometimes. Boom. All right. So it was A, the Athletics. Was A, the Athletics. Let me read the answer for that one. A, it's only been done 3 times in the last 55 years. The last squad to do it was the A's in 1973 during their second consecutive World Championship season. Ken Holtzman finished 21-13. Vita Blue posted a 20-9 mark, and Catfish Hunter was 21-5. The 1971 Orioles, who lost the series, had 4 20-game winners. Dave McNally with 21-5, Jim Palmer 20-9, Pat Dobson 20-8, and Mike Kuehler 20-9. The 1970 Orioles had Kuehler 24-8, McNally 24-9, and Palmer 20-10. They beat the Reds in the series. All right, so congratulations there on that one. That one was Dragon Fan Tim. All right. So our next one will be Friday the 13th of September. The baseball birthdays for that day were Bernie Williams, Denny Neagle, Thornton Lee, and Rick Wise. One correct answer, worth 5 points. Baseball history. Name the first World Series with night baseball. Was that A, 1970, B, 1971, C, 1972, or D, 1973? No drooling allowed. Blue catfish. B, Big Ray's baseball cards. Big Ray. You must have just popped in here, Big Ray. Thanks for making it in. Big Ray with B, 1971. Gives him a 5. All right. 1971. Okay. Was B. It was Game 4 at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Though playing games under lights was still controversial, MLB's administration decided that this was the year to play a weekday series game at night in order to allow a bigger viewing audience. We have suggested night World Series to the networks, and they are intrigued by it, said Commissioner Billy Kuhn. The Pirates came back from a 3-0 deficit to take the game 4-3 and even the series at 2 games apiece. They went on to beat the Orioles 4-3. So there we go. Boom. Friday, September 13th. That was a good one. All right, next one is our weekend trivia for Saturday, September 14th, which was Maulid Anabi begins at sundown. And for Sunday, September 24th, National Hispanic Heritage Month begins. The Saturday birthdays for the 14th were Kid Nichols, Jerry Coleman, Tim Wallach, and Stan Williams. The Sunday, September 15th birthdays were Gaylord Perry, Fritz Alstermüller, Nick Altrock, and Charlie Smith. Okay, and here we go with the awards. Again, one correct answer, 5 points to the winning answer who gets it first. Name the youngest pitcher ever to win the Cy Young and Most Valuable Player awards in the same season. Was it A, Denny McLain? Was it B, Sandy Koufax? Was it C, Roger Clemens? Was it D, Vida Blue? Or was it E, Don Newcomb? Go ahead and put your guesses in now. Vida Blue says boom slang. Mickey's in the house. There you go there, boom slang. Boom slang got Vida Blue. He got the 5 points on that one. All right, Vida Blue was the answer on that one. D, Blue was 21 when he finished the 1971 season with a 24-8 and league best in ERA with 1.82 and shutouts with 8. The Dodgers' Don Newcomb won both awards in 56 and led the National League in 27 in wins with 27 and winning percentage 794, but he was 27 years old. So Vida Blue was the answer on that one. All right. We're halfway through the month in 2 days now. But we're going to do at least one more here, and it's just going to be baseball and literature. All right, baseball and literature for Monday, September 16th. Monday, September 16th, we have baseball birthdays were Robin Yount, Tim Raines, Oral Hershiser, and Mickey Tettleton. Baseball and literature. Annie and I were in Cooperstown once, and we looked at shoeless Joe Jackson shoes reposing under the glass. How come a guy named Shoeless Joe had shoes? Annie wants to know. Ray Kinsella, narrator of W.P. Kinsella's novel Shoeless Joe in 1982. And that's all I have on that one. All right? And I think we'll do one more maybe at least, because I'm feeling froggy here. We still got another minute before 25. So we're going to do one more, and that'll be Tuesday, September 17th. Tuesday, September 17th, and it's going to be Hall of Fame related. The baseball birthdays for Tuesday, September 17th are Orlando Cepeda, John Franco, Frank Schulte, and Earl Webb. Okay, Hall of Fame. Put these in order from first through fifth. These Negro League players by when they were elected into the Hall of Fame. So I need you to number them from 1 through 5. Okay, match the number with the letter, and I'll give you the letter and the player name. You match up which one was first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Order these Negro League players by when they were elected into the Hall of Fame. I've got A, Josh Gibson, B, Satchel Paige, C, Cool Papa Bell, D, Buck Leonard, and E, Monty Irvin. Okay? All I need you to do is tell me who was first, and then second, third, fourth, and fifth in that order, and you will get 5 entries into the September-October running. Oh, semi-drop, she is doing fine. She is doing fine. So let's see, what do we got? Actually, it's kind of a trick question. There are 2 that both made it in the same year. So I'll have to pay attention to the answers here to make sure who's got what. Since we're doing it the hard way here. Let's see, we got an AC, A, C. Let's see, an A. It's a, oh wait, no, it's a B. Okay. Oh, this one's hard. A, C, B, E, D. A, C, B, E, D. There we go. A, C, B, E, and D. Wait, no, hold on. Wait. A. Then we got C. Oh, nope, that's not right either. We got Page, Gibson, Leonard, Irvin, and Bell. That's not right either. This one's kind of harder. I should have made you put the numbers by their names so I knew which way you did it. But you know what? I'm going to go through all the answers that are up here and see who's got the most. We got a C and a D. C, D, E. Oh, yeah. C, D, E, A, and B. I don't know. I mean, you know what? This one was so difficult, and Gibson and Leonard were in 19. Yeah, exactly. Gibson and no, actually, it's Gibson and Cool Papa Bell were the same year. Let's see. Big Ray saying Tim got it right. Okay, did he? Let me see. Where's Tim? Gibson Leonard were in 72. Page, Gibson. Okay, let's see. We got Page. We got Gibson. Leonard was actually the last one. Bell was 1974. Irvin was 1973. Gibson and Leonard was, and so do you guys agree that Dragon Fan Tim pretty much got it in the correct order? Okay, so Big Ray says Tim got it right. Okay, Dragon Fan Tim, I'm going to give you that one. Do back and all changes there. And I will read what it says on the back here. Says 1B pitcher, 1971. 2A and C were second. Catcher and first baseman, 1972. 4E was the outfielder, 1973. And then 5D was the center fielder, 1974. There we go. Everybody agrees. Tim got it. Thank you for the help, Jerry. I would have had to been a brain surgeon to try and figure that out, and that was the people that were working on my wife. So, just because of the confusion on that one, we're going to go one more, and then we'll continue tomorrow with the 19th of September. And we did go over, but that's okay, because we're going to do the biography right after this trivia coming up here right now. Last one for the day, and then we're going to get into Casey Stengal's biography. Baseball by the decade. For Wednesday, September 18th, the baseball birthdays were Ryan Sandberg, Harvey Haddix, George Uhl, and Heine Groh. Name the National League third baseman who led in 4 offensive categories in 1971. One correct answer worth 5 points. Name the National League third baseman who led in 4 offensive categories in 1971. Was it A. Lou Brock, B. Pete Rose, C. Johnny Bench, D. Joe Torre, or E. Roberto Clemente? Give your answers now. The Tigers won. All right. Does that mean Houston's out, or they just got another game to go? All right, not that one. Dragon. Okay. I'd like to see the Tigers make it a little bit farther. Anybody else before we end it? Houston is done. Yes. Sorry, I'm not a Houston fan. Sorry, Sean. I know you're a Houston fan, but that's the way things go sometimes. Okay. Nope, it was not C either. Wasn't Clemente. It wasn't Johnny Bench. I'll allow one more guess, and then we'll call it a hung jury. Nope, it's not A. It's not Lou Brock. Nope, it's not B. It's not Pete Rose. Dragon Fan Tim, you're all over the board, but I'll give you the 5. And plus, your team won today, so they beat Houston. I didn't think that would happen, but you guys probably had doubt too. It was D. Joe Torre. It says Torre also took MVP honors following a season in which he led the league in games played, 161, and was second in batting with 325. Torre was third in 71, leading in hits with 230, runs batted in 137, average 363, total bases 352, playing his first full season at third after being a catcher. He dominated the MVP voting, getting 21 first-place votes to Willie Stargell's 3. In 2014, he was elected into the Hall of Fame as a manager. All right there, Dragon Fan Tim, you got that one, and we're going to wrap up those for today. All right, so we will do the end of stream. The end of stream. Okay. All right, and I'm going to try and get a new addition into my channel here as soon as I can figure out how to do it. I've got the intro video. I just got to figure out how to work things out here. I got to get it off my other computer and put it on my Mac here so it'll work in here. And as soon as I can figure that out, then we will be doing much, much better. Okay? So other than that, that's all I've got for now, except for doing our Casey Stengal biography. Okay? Oh, wait a minute. I got to switch my camera here real quick. Do that real quick. Right? There we go. Now I'll get over here and do Casey Stengal's biography. Let me get a sip of water real quick, and then we will go to town. We only got one thumbs up. I gotta double check. You guys not giving me my thumbs up today. Let me do a refresh here and see if we got more. We gotta have more than one thumbs up here. That's terrible. You guys gotta remember, put thumbs up for people. Tim doing that new math. 1 equals 5 if t equals first through fifth. Something like that, I guess. All right. So Casey Stengal is our biography for today. Charles Dillon Casey Stengal, born July 30th, 1890, and passed away on September 29th, 1975, was an American League Baseball right fielder and manager, best known as the manager of the championship New York Yankees of the 1950s and later. Okay. Best known as the manager of the Yankees and later in the expansion New York Mets. Okay, nicknamed the Old Professor, he was elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1966. Okay, we got 8 thumbs up. That is much, much better, that's for sure. All right. Stengal was born in Kansas City, Missouri in 1890. In 1910, he began a professional baseball career that would span over a half a century. After almost 3 seasons in the minor leagues, Stengal reached the major leagues in late 1912 as an outfielder for the Brooklyn Dodgers. His 6 seasons there saw some success, among them playing for Brooklyn's 1916 National League Championship team. But he also developed a reputation as a clown after repeated clashes over pay with the Dodgers owner Charlie Evans. Stengal was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1918. However, he enlisted in the Navy that summer for the remainder of World War I. After returning to baseball, he continued his pay disputes, resulting in trades to the Philadelphia Phillies in 1919 and to the New York Giants in 1921. There he learned much about baseball from manager John McGraw and had some of the glorious moments in his career, such as hitting an inside-the-park home run in Game 1 of the 1923 World Series to defeat the Yankees. His major league playing career ended with the Boston Braves in 1925, but he then began a career as a manager. The first 20 years of Stengal's second career brought mostly poor finishes, especially during his MLB managerial stints with the Dodgers in 1934 to 36 and the Braves in 1938 to 43. He thereafter enjoyed some success on the minor league level, and Yankee general manager George Weiss hired him as manager in October 1948. Stengal's Yankees won the World Series 5 consecutive times in 1949 through 1953, the only time that has been achieved, although the team won 10 pennants in his 12 seasons and won 7 World Series. His final 2 years brought less success, with his third place finish in 1959 and a loss in the 1960 World Series. By then, aged 70, he was dismissed by the Yankees shortly after the defeat. Stengal had become well known for his humorous and sometimes disjointed way of speech during his time with the Yankees. And these skills of showmanship served the expansion Mets well when they hired him in late 1961. He promoted the team timelessly, as well as managing it to 40 a 40-win, 120 loss record, the most losses of any 20th century MLB team. The team finished last all 4 years he managed it, but was boosted by considerable support from fans. Stengal retired in 1965 and then became a fixture at the baseball events for the rest of his life. Although Stengal is sometimes described as one of the great managers in Major League history, others have contrasted his success during the Yankees' years with his lack of success over at other times, and concluded he was a good manager only when given good players. Stengal is reminded and remembered as one of the great characters in baseball. As far as his early life, give me a second here. I was like, why? You know what? When you're in a card room and you're sorting cards, there is all kinds of dust that flies around. And it's kind of hard when it's right on your eyeglasses and you're trying to do a biography. As far as his early life, Charles Dillon Stengal was born July 30th in Kansas City, Missouri. His ancestry included German and Irish. His parents, Louis Stengal and Jenny Jordan Stengal, were from Quad Cities area of Illinois and Iowa and had moved to Kansas City soon after their 1886 wedding, so Louis could take an insurance job. Charlie was the youngest of three children and the second son. Charlie Stengal played sandlot baseball as a child and also played baseball, football, and basketball in Kansas City Central High School. His basketball team won the championship, while the baseball team won the state championship. As a teenager, Stengal played on a number of semi-pro baseball teams. He played on the traveling team called the Kansas City Sox during the summers of 1908-1909, going as far west as Wyoming and earning $1 a day. He was offered a contract by the Major League Kansas City Blues for $135 a month, more than his father was making. Since young Stengal was underage, his father had to agree, which he did, and Louis Stengal recalled, "So I put down paper and signed. You could never change that boy's mind anyway." So as far as his playing career, when he played for the minor leagues, before reporting to spring training for the Blues in early 1910 at Excelsior Springs, Missouri, Stengal was approached by his neighbor, Kid Nichols, a former star pitcher, who advised him to listen to his manager and to the older players, and if he was minded to reject their advice, at least think it over a month or so first. Stengal failed to make the ball club, which was part of the American Association, considered one of the top minor leagues. Kansas City optioned Stengal to the Kankakee K's of the Class D Northern Association, a lower-level minor league, to gain experience as an outfielder. He had a .251 batting average with Kankakee when the league folded in July. He found a place with the Shelbyville Grays, who moved mid-season and became the Marysville Rivermen of the Class D Bluegrass League, batting .221. He returned to the Blues for the final week of the season with his combined batting average for 1910 at .237. Uncertain whether he would be a successful baseball player, Stengal attended Western Dental College in 1910-11 offseason. He would rather tell stories of his woes as a left-handed would-be dentist during his right-handed equipment. The Blues sold Stengal to the Aurora Blues of the Class A Wisconsin-Illinois League. All right, Then, as far as his Brooklyn years in 1912 to 17, in latter years, Casey Stengel told stories of his coming to Brooklyn to play for the Dodgers. Most focused on the naivete and were at least exaggerated. Wheat was from Kansas City area and watched over Stengel getting the younger players a locker next to his and working with him on outfield technique. Stengel made his MLB debut at Brooklyn's Washington Park on September 17, 1912, as a starting center fielder. Hey, God is great, Titus. Titus is in the house. Thanks for popping in for a minute and visiting us. Yep, back at the regular time, 2 o'clock today. That'll stay that way. I will post it when I post my videos, so you can always check my live streams coming up and then just kind of pay attention what time it's going to start. That way you'll know. And it's been mine. I can put my time here, but you'll know your time, what time I'm going to be live, so you'll know when to catch me. Okay? After holding out for better pay, Stengel signed with the Dodgers for 1913, and he won starting center field job. The Dodgers had a new ballpark, Ebbets Field, and Stengel became the first person to hit a home run there. First, an inside-the-park home run against the New York Yankees in an exhibition game to open the stadium, and then in the regular season during the 1913, Stengel acquired the nickname Casey. There are varying stories of how this came to be, though. His hometown of Kansas City likely played a prominent role. Sports writer Fred Lieb stated that the ballplayer had Charles Stengal, Kansas City, stenciled on his bag. Although he missed 25 games with injuries, he hit .272 with 7 official home runs in his first full season as a major leaguer. Prior to 1914 spring training, Stengel coached baseball at the University of Mississippi. Though the position was unpaid, he was designated an assistant professor for the time he was there, something that may have been the source of Stengel's nickname, the Old Professor. Right? The Dodgers were an improving team in Stengel's first year with them, and he was greatly influenced by the manager who joined the team in 1914, Wilbert Robinson. Stengel also avoided a holdout in 1914. Dodgers owner Charlie Ebbets was anxious to put his players under the contract unless they jumped to the new Federal League, and nearly doubled Stengel's salary to $4,000 per year. And during spring training, the Dodgers faced the minor league Baltimore Orioles. Their rookie, Babe Ruth, who pitched, Ruth hit a triple over Stengel's head, but gave up 2 doubles to him. And Stengel chased down a long Ruth fly ball in the Dodgers' loss. Both Brooklyn and Stengel started the season slowly, but recovered with a hot streak that left the Dodgers only 4 games under .500, their best record since 1903, and Stengel finished with a .316 batting average, 5th in the league. His on-base percentage and league at .404 though this was not yet official statistic. With the Federal League still active, Stengel was rewarded with a 2-year contract at $6,000 per year. As far as when he was with Pittsburgh and Philadelphia in 1918 to 21, the Pirates had been the only National League team to do worse than the Dodgers in 1917, finishing last. Stengel met with the Pirates owner Barney Dreyfuss to seek a salary increase, but found Dreyfuss reluctant to deal with Stengel, proved himself as a Pirate on June 3, 1918. Stengal was ejected for arguing with the umpire and was fined by the league office for taking off his shirt on the field. The U.S. had been fighting in World War I for a year, and Stengal enlisted in the Navy, and his wartime service was playing for and managing the Brooklyn Navy Yards baseball team, driving in the only run to beat Army 1-0 before 5,000 spectators at the Polo Grounds. He also occasionally helped paint a ship. He later stated that he guarded the Gowanus Canal and not a single submarine got into it. Get a sip of water here real quick. All right, everybody just saying hi to Titus. The armistice renewed the conflict between Stengal and Dreyfus and the outfielder held out against to begin the 1919 season. Both wanted to see Stengal traded, but no deal was immediately made. By then, Stengal's position as regular right fielder had been taken by Billy Southworth, and the position as regular outfielder had been taken by, and he had difficulty breaking back into the lineup. Stengal placed better than he had before enlisted, and at the time Dreyfus traded him to the Philadelphia Phillies for Possum Whitted. On August the 9th, he was batting .293 with 4 home runs. But before being traded, Stengal pulled one of his most famous stunts. On May 25th at Ebbets Field as a member of the visiting Pirates, it was not unusual at Ebbets Field for right fielders of either team rather than go to the dugout after three were out to go to the Dodgers bullpen in foul territory down the right field line if they were not likely to bat in the upcoming inning. Stengal did so to visit old friends and discovered that pitcher Leon Cadore had captured a sparrow. Stengal took it and quietly placed it under his cap when he called to bat in the 6th inning. He received mixed boos and cheers from the Brooklyn crowd as former Dodger took deep bow at the plate and doffed his cap, whereupon the bird flew away to great laughter from the crowd. The trade to the Phillies ended Stengal's major league season for 1919, as he refused to report unless he got a raise, and when one was not forthcoming, returned to Kansas City to raise a barnstorming team who had feared being sent to the minor leagues. Quietly placed a long-distance call once informed to ensure he was not the victim of a practical joke. As far as his early managerial career in 1925 to 1948, in the minor leagues in 1925 to 31, Stengal started 1925 on the active roster of the Braves, but was used as a pinch hitter and starter only once. In right field against the Pirates on May 14th in a game which he got his only MLB hit of 1925, the final one of his major league career singles, was his average sank to 0.077. Braves owner Emil Fuchs purchased the Worcester Panthers of the Eastern League and hired Stengal as a player, manager, and team president. All right, the Panthers were not a box office success, and Fuchs planned to move the team to Providence, Rhode Island for the 1926 season with Stengal to remain in his roles. McGraw, with whom Stengal had remained close, wanted him to take over as manager of the Braves, and Mudhens president Joseph O'Brien was unwilling to send them money or players in order to get him. When Stengal asked Fuchs what to do if a higher level club wanted to draft him, Fuchs hand-heartedly suggested releasing himself as a player, which would automatically terminate his Braves contract. Stengal took up Fuchs on his suggestion, releasing himself as a player and then firing himself as a manager and re-signing as president, hearing the way for him to move to the Mudhens. Fuchs was outraged and went to Judge Landis, who advised him to let the matter go. Stengal's 6 years in Toledo would be as long as he would spend anywhere as a manager except his time with the Yankees of the 1950s. Okay. McGraw sent talented players down to Toledo, and the Mudhens threatened for the pennant in Stengal's first year before falling back into third. In 1927, the team won its first pennant and defeated the Buffalo Bisons 5-1 in the Little World Series. Stengal missed part of the 1927 campaign as he was suspended by the league for inciting fans to attack the umpire after a close play during the first game of the Labor Day doubleheader. Stengal continued as an occasional player as late as 1931, in addition to his managerial role, hitting a game-winning home run in the last of his professional career. In 1927, for the Mudhens, since minor league clubs suffer large turnovers in their rosters, the team's success and did not carry over to 1928, when it finished 6th and 8th in the 8-team league in 1929. The team recovered for 3rd in 1930, but then both Stengal and the team in which he had invested were having financial problems due to the start of the Great Depression. The team finished late again in 1931, and after Landis was convinced no money had been skimmed off to benefit Stengal and other insiders, the team went into receivership and Stengal was fired. Right. Then, of course, his return to the minors in 1944 to 1948. Stengal thought the 1943 season would be his last in baseball. Edna urged him to look after the family business interests full time, and Casey, who had always been an athlete, was reluctant to show himself at a baseball stadium with the imperfectly healed injury. But early in 1944 season, the minor league Milwaukee Brewers had a managing vacancy to fill, and the Chicago Cubs hired away the Brewer manager Charlie Grimm, who played with Stengal on the 1919 Pirates. Grimm told the Cubs he was obliged to see the Brewers had complete replacement and urged the Brewers to hire Stengal. The team owner, Bill Veeck, stationed as a Marine at Guadalcanal, of Stengal as a manager and was very reluctant in his constant when reached by cable. Stengal was adept at fostering good relations with reporters. By the end of May, Veeck had withdrawn from his objections. The team won the American Association pennant but lost the playoffs to Louisville. Veeck, having returned to the United States, offered to rehire Stengal in 1945, but Stengal preferred another offer he received. This was from George Weiss of the New York Yankees to manage the team Stengal had begun with. The Kansas City Blues, by then a Yankee farm club, Kansas City had finished last in the American Association. As Milwaukee won the pennant, making it something of a come down for Stengal, who hoped to return to the major leagues. Nevertheless, it was his old hometown, allowing him to see friends and relatives, and he took the job. The Blues finished seventh in the 8-team league in 1945. Although there was no major league managing vacancy, Stengel could aspire to the Oakland Oaks of the Pacific Coast League and had fired their manager and approached Stengal's. Also attractive to Stengel was that the league had three teams in Southern California, allowing him to spend more time his home at his home in Glendale. To that time, the club won only one pennant and was something of a weak sister to its Cross Bay rivals, the San Francisco Seals, but owner Brick Laws believed Stengel could mold players into a winning team. The Oaks finished second in the league behind the Seals in 1946, winning the first round of the playoffs against Los Angeles before losing to San Francisco in the finals. They finished fourth in 1947, beating San Francisco in the first round before losing to the Angels. This Stengel managed the Oaks for a third year in 1948, with the roster heavy with former major leaguers. Among the younger players on the team was 20-year-old shortstop Billy Martin. Stengel was impressed with Martin's fielding, baseball acuity, and when there were brawls on the field, fighting ability. The Oaks cinched the pennant on September 26th and defeat the Los Angeles and the Seattle Rainiers to win the Governor's Cup. The Sporting News named Stengel the minor league manager of the year. As far as the glory days with the Yankee dynasty from 1949 to 1960. Hiring in 1949, Stengel had been talked about as possible manager in the early 40s, but longtime team boss Barrow, who retired in 1945, refused to consider it. Yankee manager Joe McCarthy, retiring during 1946, and after the interim appointment of catcher Bill Dickey as player manager, Bucky Harris was given the job in 1947. Stengel's name was mentioned in the job before Harris got it, and he was backed by Weiss, but Larry McPhail, when in charge of the franchise, was opposed to Harris and the Yankees. The World Series. And then in charge of the franchise was opposed. Harris and the Yankees won the World Series that year but finished in third in 1948, though they were not eliminated until the penultimate day. Harris was fired allegedly because he would not give Weiss his home telephone number. McPhail could no longer block Stengel's hiring, and as he sold his interest and Harris was fired, allegedly because he would not give Weiss his home telephone number. Stengel was introduced as Yankee manager on October 12, 1948, the 25th anniversary of his second son. Stengel tried to keep a low profile during 1949 Yankee spring training at St. Petersburg, Florida, but there was considerable media attention as Stengel shuffled rookies from one position to the field to the other and endlessly shuffled his lineup. He had the advantage of diminished spectators. Although platooning, playing right-handed batters against the left-handed pitchers and the reverse, against whom they are on average more able to hit, have been known for some years, Stengel popularized it and his use gave the practice its name, coined by a sports writer and borrowed from football. For example, in the early 1949 season, Stengal might play Bobby Brown at third base and Cliff Mapes and Gene Wooding in the outfield. After the team blew leads and lost both ends of a doubleheader in Philadelphia on May 15, Stengel called a team meeting in which he criticized the players responsible for the two losses, but also predicted greatness for them and told the team it was going to win. The team then won 13 of its next 14 games. Yankee sportscaster Kurt Gowdy, who was present, later stated that that speech in California or in Philadelphia was the turning point of the season. As far as his repeated success, during the 1949 season, Stengel had been moved more subdued than he usually was, but being the manager of the defending world champions, the Major League Manager of the Year relieved his inhibitions, and he was thereafter his talkative self. He also was more forceful in running the team, not always the liking of veteran players such as Joe DiMaggio and Phil Rizzuto. As part of his incessant shuffling of the lineup, Stengel had DiMaggio play first base, a position to which he was unaccustomed and refused to play after the first game. In August, with the slugger in the middle of the batting slump, Stengel benched him, stating he needed a rest. DiMaggio returned 6 games, hit .370 for the rest of the season, and winning the slugging percentage title. Other young players in 1950 were Billy Martin and Whitey Ford. The Accidents percentile title. Other young players in the 1950 team were Billy Martin and Whitey Ford. The ascendance of these rookies meant more of the Yankees accepting Stengel's techniques. Among those invited to the 1951 early camp was a 19-year-old Mickey Mantle, whose speed and talent was awed Stengel and who had spent previous year in the minor leagues. The Yankee opponent in the 1951 World Series was the Giants with Game 1. DiMaggio's retirement after the 1951 season gave Stengel greater control over the players, as the relationship between superstar and manager had sometimes been taut. Stengel moved Mantle from right to center field in DiMaggio's place. The Yankees were not the favorites to win the pennant again in 1952 with DiMaggio retired. Mantle still recovering from his injury, and several Yankees in military service deployed in the Korean War. Sports writers favored the Indians. Younger players, some of whom Stengel had developed, came to the fore with Martin. The regular second season was slow to get on track. The team had a record of 18-17 on May 30th. But they improved thereafter, and Stengel prepared nearly 100 different lineup cards. And hit towards the end of the season to finish at 311. The Yankees' season was also slow to get back on track. The team had a record of 18-17 on May 30th, but they improved thereafter, and Stengel prepared nearly 100 different lineup cards for the 1952 season. The race was still tight early September, and on September 5th, Stengal lectured the team. In the 1952 World Series against the Brooklyn Dodgers, who by then had their stars of the 50s, such as Jackie Robinson, Gil Hodges, and Duke Snider, with the team later nicknamed the Boys of Summer. The team split up the first four games with the pitching staff tired. Stengal gave the start to late season acquisition Elwell Blackwell, who surrendered 4 runs in 5 innings, and the Yankees lost the game in 11 innings to the Dodgers behind Carl Erskine's complete game. Needing to win 2 in a row at Ebbets Field, Stengal placed Rasish in Game 6, who Mantle hit a home run to break the 2-2 tie. Martin preserved the lead by making a difficult catch off a Robinson pop-up, and Kuzawa again secured the final outs for a series victory as the Yankees won 4-2 for their fourth straight World Series victory, matching a record set in 1936-39 also by the Yankees. As far as their middle years, the Yankees started the defense of their title in 1954 with the opening day loss of the Washington Senators in the presence By the mid-1950s, Stengal was becoming a national figure, familiar from television broadcasts of the Yankees on NBC's Game of the Week. There we go, smash the like button. All right. And from managing in most World Series and All-Star games during his tenure, national magazines such as Look and Sports Illustrated did feature the stories about Stengal, and his turn of phrase became known as Stengalese. The magazines not only told stories about the manager's one-liners and jokes, but recounted the pranks from his playing days, such as the grapefruit dropped from the plane and the sparrow under the cap. According to Richard Bach, his biographer of Stengal, people across the country grew enamored with the grandfatherly fellow whose funny looks and fractured speech were so at odds with the Yankees' bloodless corporate image. The Yankees won the pennant again in 1955, breaking open a close pennant race in September to take the American League. They played the Dodgers again in the World Series, which the Dodgers won in 7 games. The Dodgers won Game 7, 2-0 behind pitching of Johnny Padres. And after losing aggressively against the Padres, Billy Martin stated, "It's a shame for a great manager like that to have a loss." The World Series opponent that year was again the Dodgers, who won the first 2 games at Ebbets Field. Stengal lectured the team before the Game 3 at Yankee Stadium, and the team responded with a victory. And then in Game 4 for Game 5, Stengal pitched Don Larson, who had been knocked out of a Game 2, and who responded with a perfect game, the only one in Major League postseason history. The Dodgers won Game 6 as the series returned to Ebbets Field. Many expected Whitey Ford to start Game 7, but Stengal chose Johnny Cooks, an 18-game winner that season, who had been used twice in relief in the series. Cooks threw a 3-hit shutout as the Yankees won the championship 9-0, and Stengal's 6th as their manager. New York got off to a slow start in 1957 season, and by early June was 6 games out. By then, the team was making headlines off the field. The Yankees recovered from their slow start, winning the American League pennant by 8 games. They faced Milwaukee Braves in the 1957 World Series, and the Braves, Stengal had managed them when they had played in Boston, defeated the Yankees in 7 games with Lou Burdett, who had been a Yankee until traded in 1950, beating New York 3 times. Stengal stated in an interview, "We're going to have Burtis on our minds next year." The final years and his firing. The Yankees finished 79 and 75 in 1959 in third place, the worst record since 1925 as the White Sox, managed by Lopez, won the pennant. There was considerable criticism of Stengal, who was viewed as too old and too out of touch with the players. After the 1959 season, Weiss made a trade with Kansas City to bring Roger Maris to the Yankees. Stengal was delighted with the acquisition and batted Maris third in the lineup, just in front of Mantle, and the new Yankees responded with an MVP season in 1960. Stengal had health issues during the season, spending 10 days in the hospital in late May and early June with an illness variously reported as a bladder infection, a virus, or influenza. The Yankees were challenged by the Baltimore Orioles for most of the year, but won the pennant by 8 games. Stengal's 10th as manager, tying the major league record held by McGraw. The Yankees played the Pittsburgh Pirates again, a team Stengal had played for in the 1960 World Series. Stengal picked Art Dittmer, who had won most games, 15 for the Yankees, as the Game 1 starter rather than established star Whitey Ford. The Pirates knocked Dittmer out of the box in the first inning and won Game 1. Dittmer was also knocked out of Game 5, and Ford won games 3 and 6 of the season and series with shutouts, but could not pitch Game 7 as he might have if Stengal had used him in Games 1 and 5. The Pirates defeated the Yankees in Game 7, 10-9, and on a 10th inning home run by Bill Mazeroski. Shortly after the Yankees returned to New York, Stengal was informed by the team that the owners would not be given a new contract. His request for termination to be announced. After Topping evaded questions from the press about whether Stengal had been fired, Stengal took the microphone and, when asked if he had been fired, stated, "Quit, fired, whatever you please. I don't care." Topping stated that Stengal was being terminated because of his age, 70, and alleged that he would have happened even if the Yankees won the World Series. The amazing Caseys and the Mets in 1962-65, hiring and the 1962 season. 2 days after dismissing Stengal, the Yankees announced the hiring of Hook as his replacement. Part of the reason Stengal's firing was so that New York would not lose Hook to another team. Stengal turned to Glendale and spent the 61 season out of baseball for the first time since 1937. He turned down several jobs to manage the Tigers, San Francisco Giants, and the expansion Los Angeles Angels. He spent the summer of 1961 as vice president of the Glen Valley National Bank, which was owned by members of Edna Stengal's family. The return of Casey Stengal to spring training received considerable publicity when the Mets played the Yankees in an exhibition game. Stengal played the best pitchers while the Yankees treated it as meaningless game, and the Mets won 4-3. The team won nearly as many games as it lost in spring training, but Stengal warned, "I ain't fooled. They play different when the other side is trying to." The Mets lost their first 9 games of the regular season. In the meantime, the Pirates were 10-0, meaning the Mets were already 9.5 games out of first place. Some light appeared in May when the Mets won 11 of 18 games to reach 8th place in the 10-team league. They then lost 17 in a row, returning to last place, where they would spend the remainder of the season. According to sports writer Joseph Dursell, on the days when Stengal's amazing Mets were for some reason amazing, he simply sat back and let the writers swarm over the heroes of the diamond. On days when the Mets were less amazing, and there were many more days like that, he stepped into the vacuum and diverted um, the writer's attention and typewriters to his own flamboyance and perfect link with the public has formed, and it grew stronger as the team grew zanier. Later seasons and retirement, 1963 to 1965, seasons unfolded for the Mets, much like previous years, though, as they lost only 8 games to begin the season, rather than 9. But they finished 51 and 111 in last place. One highlight, though, did not count in the standings as Mayor's Trophy game on June 20th at Yankee Stadium. Stengal played to win, and the Yankees underhook possibly less, and the Mets beat the Yankees 6-2. In 1964, the Mets moved to new Shea Stadium and commented that the park is lovelier than my team. The Mets finished 53 and 109, again in last place. By this time, the fans were starting to be impatient with losing, and the number of people, including sportscaster Howard Cosell and former Dodger Jackie Robinson, criticized Stengal as an ineffective and prone to fall asleep on the bench. Stengal was given a contract for 1965, though Bremer suggested that Weiss, Grant, and Payson would have preferred that the 74-year-old Stengal retire. The early part of 1965 season saw similar futility. On July 25th, the Mets had a party at Toots Shores for the invitees to the following day's Old Timers game. Sometime during that evening, Stengal fell off a bar stool and broke his hip. The circumstances of his fall are not known with certainty, as he did not realize he had been severely injured until the following day. Stengal spent his 75th birthday in the hospital, recognizing that considerable rehabilitation would be required. He retired as manager of the Mets on August 30th, replaced by Westrom, one of his coaches, and the Mets would again finish in last place. Latter years and his death, the Mets retired Stengal's uniform number 37 on September 2nd, 1965, after which he returned to his home in California, was kept on the team payroll as vice president, but for all intents and purposes, he was out of baseball. His life settled into a routine of attending the World Series, especially when in California, the All-Star Game, Mets spring training, and the baseball writers' dinner in New York. The writers who elect members of the Baseball Hall of Fame considered it unjust that Stengal would have to wait the usual 5 years after retirement for election, and waived that rule on March 8, 1966. A surprise ceremony at the Mets spring training site in St. Petersburg, Stengal was told of his election, and he was inducted in July, along with Ted Williams. Thereafter, he added the annual Hall of Fame induction ceremonies to his schedule. In 1969, the Amazing Mets justified their nickname by unexpectedly winning the World Series over the favored Orioles. Stengal attended the series, threw out the first ball for Game 3 at Shea Stadium, and visited the clubhouse after the Mets' triumph in Game 5 to win the series. The Mets presented him with a championship ring. Stengal also participated in Old Timers Day and a number of ballparks, including regularly Shea Stadium. By 1971, Edna Stengal was showing signs of Alzheimer's, and in 1973, following a stroke, she was moved into a nursing home. Casey Stengal continued to live in Glendale, home with the help of his housekeeper, June Bowden. Stengal himself showed signs of senility in his last years, and during his final year of his life, these increased. In his last year, Stengal cut back on his travel schedule and was too ill to attend Yankees Old Timers Day game in August of 1975. The tributes to Stengal upon his death were many. Maury Allen wrote, "He's gone, and I'm supposed to cry, but I laugh Every time I saw the man, every time I heard his voice, every time his name was mentioned, the creases on my mouth would give way to a smile and would come to my face. Richie Ashburn, a member of the 1962 Mets, stated, "Don't shed any tears for Casey. He wouldn't want you to. He was the happiest man I've ever seen." Jim Murray of the Los Angeles Times wrote, "God is certainly getting an earful tonight." Edna Stengal died in 1978 and was interred next to her husband. In addition to the marker at their graves in Forest Lawn Cemetery, there's a simple plaque nearby in tribute to Casey Stengel, which, besides biographical information, contains a bit of Stengalese. So there you have it. Casey Stengel's biography, and now we'll do his Hall of Fame stats from his lifelong career. So Stengel, again, was a right fielder manager, born July 30th, 1890, in Kansas City, Missouri, United States, died September 28, 1975, at the age of 85, in Glendale, California, in the United States. He batted left through left. His MLB debut was September 17th, 1912, for the Brooklyn Dodgers. His last MLB appearance, May 19th, 1925, for the Boston Braves. His MLB statistics: batting average 284, home runs 60, runs batted in 535. His managerial record: he had 1,905 wins and 1,842 losses. He had a 508% winning percentage. As a player, he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers, Super Bass, and the Robins in 1912-17, the Pittsburgh Pirates 18-19, Philadelphia Phillies 1920-21, New York Giants 21-23, Boston Braves 24-25. As a manager, the Brooklyn Dodgers 1934-36, Boston Braves 38-43, New York Yankees 49-60, and the New York Mets 62-65. As a coach with the Brooklyn Dodgers 1932-1933. One more sip of water, I think we can make it. His career highlights and awards were 9 World Series champion, 1921, 22, 1949 through 53, 56, and 58. The New York Yankees number 37 retired. The New York Mets number 37 retired. The Monument Park honoree, the New York Mets Hall of Fame, and the Major League Baseball all-time team. He's a member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, inducted in 1966. The election method was via the Veterans Committee. So there you have it. Casey Stengel, our Hall of Fame inductee, with this 1966 Cooperstown card from Panini product. Let me see, this year was 2013. And then this Casey Stengel card was a 1989 card number 218 for Casey Stengel. Right, and then his Hall of Fame induction placard. That's all I have there. So Bruce Suter's going to be tomorrow. Bruce Suter will be our Hall of Fame player for tomorrow's Thursday biography. Okay, so let's get our 2-minute warning for the end. The kids are saying hello, Don. How you guys doing? Here, let me turn the camera around real quick. I'll turn the camera around real quick and give them all a, how you kids doing? It's nice to see you. I appreciate you being here. I'm wearing my channel t-shirt. I didn't have these made. This was just my sample I did with some of my different stickers that I use on my products. Sometimes when I send out my repack boxes or when I send packages to people, sometimes I'll put one of my channel stickers on there and stuff. But other than that, that's all we've got for today, kids. We will have a Fairfield Friday on Friday. That's where I open up the box of cards and it has a pack of cards in it. So we'll do that on Friday. Okay. So other than that, I'm going to turn the camera back down below here. No, I'll leave it up here for the end of the stream. All right. And then we will get ready to finish things up here real quick. I'm going to log everybody in. Or let me do my chat here. And then all I need you to do is say hello to get your entries in. End of stream. Okay. There we go. Oh, there. All right. All you got to do is let me know you're here, and I'll give you your 2 bonus points at the end of the stream here. Awesome stream. Now, Bernie H is here. Bernie. All right. And then who else is here? Lockin's still here with +2. Boomslang still here with a 2. Space Case cards. I'm late. Oh, that's okay, Space Case. Okay, I got you in there. All right. Let's see, what time did I do it? 33. Let me get ready. Okay, and I'll end this as soon as so. Base case cards is here at 3:33. I'll end the stream and we'll get ready to sign off for the day. And we will be back tomorrow, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for our next episode. And it'll be episode 295. Bruce Sutter. St. Louis Cardinals fans should show up for that one. Okay, we're almost at that 3:33 mark here. Boom. Gotchas. All right, we got everybody. Appreciate it. We'll make sure we see you all. This has been Tom Blondahl, Hall of Fame veteran, sports, cards, and more. Having been live with our Hall of Fame biography, episode 294, KC Stengal, and trivia. Plus. We'll see how far we can get caught up. We'll be on the 19th tomorrow. We are getting closer to the end of September and getting caught up for today. So until then, you all take care. Have a wonderful and blessed day, and we will see you all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. You all take care and have a wonderful and blessed day. Okay? Bye for now.